Hi, and welcome to the AGULHAS Breathwork Series. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Hanli. I'm a freediving instructor and ocean conservationist based in Cape Town, South Africa. On today's video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what happens in your body when you hold your breath. We are made and born to breathe. From the moment we are born and we take that first breath in, your body wants to breathe. So when you start practicing breath holds or take that breath hold into the ocean for freediving, your body's going to have a little bit to say about that. So let's talk about what that is your body is telling you when you're trying to hold your breath and how to make that breath hold longer in a safe way. Of course, the best way to learn breath holds is with an instructor right next to you in the same location. But to get started and get a little feel for it, you're welcome to try out this video. So the first thing to remember is when you're breathing in and out, to breathe deep and slow. And while I'm talking you through this, get into that deep, slow breathing. Breathing into your belly and slowly out. Inhaling in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth, whatever's comfortable for you. When we breathe, we're breathing in a mixture of gases. This beautiful air in our atmosphere that we can breathe is 21% oxygen, and the rest is a mixture of gases. But let's focus on that 21% oxygen. Your body needs oxygen to function. When you breathe in that oxygen, your brain uses a whole lot of it, your muscles use a lot of it, your metabolism, all the body systems need oxygen to function. The waste product of oxygen is carbon dioxide. So when we inhale oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. Inhaling oxygen, the oxygen bonds to hemoglobin in the blood, gets carried to all these bodily functions. Carbon dioxide is created, carried back in the blood plasma to be breathed out. When we hold our breath, we breathe in this oxygen, we hold the breath, and then the carbon dioxide levels start rising and rising and rising. And it's these rising levels of carbon dioxide that trigger us to breathe. They are the little messenger that says, you are not breathing right now, carbon dioxide levels are rising, please breathe. So first thing to know is that carbon dioxide is your friend. Those rising levels of carbon dioxide in the body is something we need to tell us where we are in our breath hold. Do I still have a lot of oxygen left? Can I keep going? Am I having a good day? Am I having a bad day? Carbon dioxide is your guide. So you need carbon dioxide in your body. When we hyperventilate, we flush out carbon dioxide, which is basically like killing your translator when you're in a country and you can't speak the language. So never, ever hyperventilate. We always work on deep, slow breathing to prepare for a dive or for a breath hold. Now, again, as you're holding your breath and your carbon dioxide levels start rising, you're going to start getting a trigger to breathe. This comes at different times for different people, but that trigger to breathe is pretty real. The first reaction to it would be, oh, I want to breathe. You've probably experienced that before if you've swum underwater in the pool as a kid. I definitely did. And that trigger to breathe is good. It's probably saved many of us when we were 12 years old swimming laps underwater in the pool by ourselves. But today, learning what that trigger feels like and how to safely start having a chat with your body of going beyond that trigger is what we're going to work on. That trigger is caused by the rising levels of carbon dioxide. That's a good thing. The second thing that happens in our body when that trigger starts from the rising levels of carbon dioxide is that your diaphragm, now remember your diaphragm is a large umbrella-shaped muscle that kind of connects to the front and the back of the ribs. It pulls down to make you breathe in, and it pushes up to make you breathe out. Your diaphragm is your largest reflexive muscle in the body. This means you don't control it. Your diaphragm does whatever it wants, whenever it wants. And when you're holding your breath, and those carbon dioxide levels start rising, and your body goes, oh my goodness, there's a lot of carbon dioxide in the system, I'd prefer if she breathes right now. That is the first trigger. The second thing that happens is that your diaphragm actually goes, push up, try get that air out, pull down, push up, pull down. That's called a diaphragmatic contraction. And that is your body asking you to breathe. Your body starts off quite polite and says, please breathe. And then as those carbon dioxide levels get higher and higher, your body gets more and more persistent. And you'll start feeling this as your body tries to breathe. You might have experienced that in a hold down if you're a surfer or swimming underwater. If you start feeling that, you want to pay attention. If you're out diving and you're underwater exploring the kelp forest or the coral reef or wherever it is you get to explore, those contractions would be your trigger to start thinking of gently swimming back up to the surface to breathe. If you're lying on your back holding your breath and you're a beginner, when those contractions start, bring your hand to your belly and start really paying attention on how sharp you're feeling in your mind. Are you feeling tingling, etc. In some videos, we'll talk about the breath hold and dealing with the contractions during the breath hold. But to know what they are is really important, and that's what this video is about. Understanding what happens in your body when you choose to hold your breath. So the carbon dioxide levels go up, and then your body activates your diaphragm to start asking and then telling you to please breathe. However, you also have a friend living inside of you. I like to call it our inner seal. So not only is your body telling and asking you to breathe, it's also activating this incredible adaptation we have for being underwater, called the mammalian dive response. The human body is so similar to whales and dolphins and seals that when we hold our breath and when we dive underwater on free dive, our body responds the same way that seals and whales and dolphins' bodies respond. And this is our mammalian dive response. And you have it in your body, whether you grew up in a landlocked country, whether you've never gone free diving, or if you're a very experienced free diver, you're using your mammalian dive response every time you slip underwater. The first thing that happens is when your face touches water, your heart rate slows down. This is called bradycardia. Brady, slowing down, cardia of the heart rate. The second thing that happens is that the blood flow in your body gets shunted to your core so that you get the oxygen centralized to the most crucial organs, mainly the brain. And this is called vasoconstriction. And then finally, if you've never thought of your spleen consciously, your spleen is a small organ on the left side of the body, part of the endocrine system, that stores and restores oxygen-rich hemoglobin blood cells. And when you're holding your breath, your spleen constricts and releases that oxygen-rich hemoglobin into the blood flow that's been centralized to give you more oxygen for your dive. So at the same time you're holding your breath, your body is telling you need to breathe, but it's also giving you this huge advantage for breath hold. Our bodies are made for diving. Our bodies are made for free dive and for exploring underwater on one breath of air. You have a seal living inside of you that wakes up and comes out to play every time you slip into the water, take a big breath in and dive down. So I want you to remember, your body is perfect for breath hold and perfect for free dive. All you need to do is practice your mind to be used to those sensations that happen in your body. So please join me again for videos on breath hold and holding your breath and building that mental strength and visualization as we explore our own bodies in this beautiful watery world we've been given. Thank you for joining today on this AGULHAS Breathwork Series. Remember, never ever free dive or dive alone. And at AGULHAS, we encourage you to consume consciously, breathe deeply, and explore boldly.